Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom, man. All praise to the Most High for another Sabbath. We back in this thing, man. All praises. Mm-mm-mm. Man, just about to get on this game for a minute. Got this video queued up. It's from Genesis, Priest Genesis mode. YouTube, it says Bishop Nathaniel, IUIC, running from Ron Dalton Jr. It's just a video. It's a reaction to a video that happened earlier, I guess. But it's about like Ron Dalton, who wrote the book Hebrews to Negroes. Um, First of all praise to the Most High. I think I said that, but pray everyone is well and has had a beautiful week, enduring all things for the hopeful elect's sake. Um, I had all of that stuff to say, and I forgot to even get to the intro first. So all praises, man. Forgive me for y'all. Forgive me for that, y'all. Um, yeah, I pray everyone is staying in the spirit, man, enduring all things, because it is a beautiful journey. Um, but yeah, other than that, man, just about to play a couple of games of Madden, and I got this video queued up. That's what I was saying. It's a 2 hour video, but I'm gonna start it like an hour and a half. I mean, I might start it like 30 minutes in, so we watch an hour and a half. Only because it's like it was pretty good. I was sitting here watching it. I was like, I could just play Madden right now. That way I could get my little lesson. I like doing lessons at the end, um, or throughout, the video. It was a pretty cool video, but it's just a lot of entertainment. I ain't gonna say like drama. Kind of is, but at the same time, it was good little talking points. And this is the only type of drama that I would like to see. Actually, I don't even like scripted drama anymore. Like if I watch a movie, it's like a thriller or like a sci-fi or mystery. You know what I'm saying? Or something POV. Or I actually love comedy, but drama is the absolute worst. I hate it, hate it. But Israelite culture, that's pretty much all the tolerance, the highest tolerance level that I have of drama. Only because it's our people, and it's really people really are sincere with how they are. But it's like, bro, you just really being like the rest of the world, but it's refreshing to see it, through the lens of our people abiding by the laws, but still at the same time, it's like them being lukewarm. Only because, like, I see it on YouTube. This is not like a channel that they're getting paid to act. These are really people. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a YouTube channel. This is people. They're going live and stuff. So, like I said, it is. I use it for like my form of entertainment. Um, if I'm just relaxing. And I usually don't even watch it for real. I have it like in the background while I'm doing something else. But I was sitting here watching it. And I was like, man, I could just be playing the game or something because it did feel like I was just up here, just like all up in the tea for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I was like, man, let me just turn something on. Or let me do something else other than just sitting here watching this. But yeah. So sit back, relax. It was, like I said, a pretty good video. I watched the first, maybe where I'm gonna start it from, maybe I watched maybe 20 minutes and then it's gonna go into me just like a live reaction or whatever you want to call it. Camera, I still don't have it up. I have it, but I still didn't plug it up because I don't see a need. You can hear my voice, and then once the game starts, of course, you can watch that too. But just sit back, get your popcorn, listen to the thing, watch the game, and stay in the spirit. And hit me up. Like I said, I always teach at the end, but we are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Just in case you ain't know, now you know, and I can prove it. Once we go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 15, all the way down to 68, you can read those verses. I'll explain it further at the end, but for now, just relax.
Native indigenous people and the blacks, those are Israelites. So if your father comes from that, then you are an Israelite. And this is why Christ said, let the wheat and the tares grow together. And at the end, let the angels separate them one from another.
So the premise is basically Ron Dalton Jr. went on to like challenge Bishop Nathaniel from IUIC, and then it was like this big thing because they was like talking, and then the moderator was trying to like, hey y'all, chill out, and then it ended up like, are they gonna like a fight basically? You know how fights have like instigation, the drama, but yeah, and then you got Genesis, Hakai, and Hassad doing the commentating on it. So it just ended up being them talking about it, but they talking about that. So yeah.
We can't go so much off of looks. We go so much off the spirit. And at the end, the angels are going to deal with it. Whoever's not Israel, the angels are going to separate it. Whoever is Israel, the angels will gather them in.
Okay, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. The Caucasians in the Americas, the Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics, and the Negroes, they are all the descendants of Abraham. If you're saying that the white man are the Edomites, and the Negroes, Hispanics, the Latin Americans, and Native American Indians are Israelites, then yes, all these groups of people I just mentioned would be considered the descendants of Abraham, and thus technically they are Hebrews.
Correct.
Yes?
I'm listening. Go with the, what is your question? What is your question?
So now you establish that, you ask the question, who are the descendants of Gomer, Magog, Meshach, Tubal, Togarmah, that are listed in Ezekiel 38 prophecy, which states in the future, in the latter days, that these nations, along with the descendants of Persia and Cush and Put, are going to leave their land, and they're going to come to the land of unwalled villages, a land where people are dwelling without bars nor gates, dwelling in peace, rest, and safety. And it says in this future Ezekiel 38 prophecy that these prophetic nations are going to have an evil thought, an evil scheme, an evil plan, an evil agenda against who? The Israelites and the land. Because it says in Ezekiel 38 that they're going to come with the intent to steal, to plunder, to loot, and to prey upon the people, meaning the Israelites, their land, and all that is within it. Like
So I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna try not to interject as much, but I talked to him. I debated him on this. Well, this came up in our debate. This came up in our debate, as you guys can see here. I'll come back in a second. This came up in our debate, because the debate was, where's the true land of Israel? Sub-Saharan Africa, or where we believe it to be at now in the so-called Middle East? And he said that he went to Ezekiel 38. He said that these nations are supposed to, surround and siege, the Holy Land, according to Ezekiel 38. So who are these people? He believes that they are the Caucasians. The Japhites are the Caucasians, Gog, Magog, all of that, Tubal, Javan, Meshach. And so I was able to address some of this in the debate that I had with him about 6 months ago. He believes that that's his prima facie, meaning no Israelite can, combat Ezekiel 38 and that prophecy and how it pertains to the Caucasian man being either Japheth or Edom. So that's his ace in the hole that he always goes to. Now it's easily refutable, but I don't want to give too much. Just in case. Like I said, I don't like to do back-to-back debates with individuals. This makes you seem kind of thirsty. But I will give a little bit. Possibly I could watch him again like I did. Ron Dog, you know what happened. You know what happened. You know how you was in the chat, looking in the chat, worried about what was going on in the chat while we were debating. You should have been focused on the debate. And you would have never said that you don't believe in the Bible in certain places that you were getting got on. So I am going to give a little bit of information on how I would respond to his question here. But I just wanted to make sure you guys understand how he's trying to walk the bishop down here. And I didn't watch the whole thing keenly, so I still want to see the bishop's response as well.
Gold, livestock, obviously arable land is something that is a raw material. You can use that to farm. So shouldn't we or you teach who are the descendants today of Jacob's sons, Gomer, Magog, Meshach, Tubal, and the son of Gomer, Togomah. Who are they today, Bishop?
Okay,
Why
to answer now.
No, that's a good question, and all you upcoming Hebrew scholars, you guys should really ponder on how you would answer this question.
So we'll keep doing the back end, and we'll allow the people to continue. Bishop, did you get the question?
Yep, I got it. It has nothing to do with the topic. Like I knew we would come up with some confusion. But anyway, give me Revelation 27. It has nothing to do with Kenya. It has nothing to do with anything.
Bishop Nathaniel, let's keep it respectful. That's both ways.
Revelation 27.
The book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired,
So this is after the kingdom, 1,000 years after the kingdom is set up.
Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Satan shall be loosed out of his kingdom.
And shall go
Out of his what?
out of his prison.
Out of his prison. Okay.
And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth,
Right?
God and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
Right. So now, let's find out who that is. Look at me, Isaiah 24. So this Satan that is talking about, it's not just a spiritual Satan, it's talking about the white man. Okay? Isaiah 24 and 22, it says the same thing.
Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 22. And they shall be gathered together, and prisoners are gathered in the pit.
So these prisoners gathered in the pit are the same ones in Revelation 20 and 7. Satan and his minions, which goes with Esau and his allies, right?
They shall be shut up in the prison.
And they're going to be shut up in the prison. Where's this at? The Caucasus Mountains. Scythia, that whole region up there, right?
And after many days shall they be visited.
When it says after many days they shall be visited, they shall be loosed. So these Europeans, even those Europeans that are mixed race with other races, with Japhet, that's what it's going into. Okay? And I said, I don't see what it has to do with what we're talking about. But
We gotta
call spade a spade.
we gotta call a spade a spade.
Ron, I was with my last show. I was getting on you, but Bishop Nathaniel not only did he not answer your question, but the answer that he gave was incorrect. First off, this is what it is. First, I want to start somewhere. In the days of these kings, shall the Most High fill up his kingdom. Verse 22.
Go ahead, share your screen.
He said Revelation 20 and 7 takes place after the kingdom. Well, the issue with that is in Daniel 2 it says in verse 44, at the ends of the toes, the feet and the toes, which is the Roman Empire, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all its kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So when the Messiah sets up his kingdom, I think Daniel 7 and 18 also tells you that the saints of the Most High shall take and possess the kingdom forever, even forever. There's not going to be any foreign nations that are going to try to rise up against us in that time. It tells you in Isaiah chapter 2 that nation will not lift up sword against nation. There's going to be peace on earth. So that was incorrect. Then he went to Isaiah 24.
Yeah, end time prophecy. That's crazy. That's eschatology.
And said,
Go ahead.
let's just read it contextually. This is not after, because he's saying that this takes place at the same time Revelation 20 and 7 takes place, 1,000 years after the kingdom is established. Here's the problem with that. Look at this, Isaiah 24, and let's start at verse 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. What is this talking about? This is end time.
Get that,
This is not 1,000
nigga.
years after the kingdom. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. This isn't just limited to Edomites. This is everybody, all the top-range people of the earth, of the heathen. It says, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. That's not saying that they are going to hide in the Caucasus Mountains. It's saying that we are going to, like like it says in Psalm 149, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. This honor hath all the saints. That's what we're going to do to the kings of the earth. It says, and shall be shut up in a prison, and after many days they shall be visited. And this also tells you when it's talking, when this is going to happen. Look, then the room shall be confounded.
Bro, what are y'all doing? It's
when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem. That's when this takes place. Not 1,000 years after the kingdom of God is set up. So,
that's my fault.
Love lost out all that still.
I just sat there and watched. Watch them run straight to 3 AIs. Like, they not finna be there.
Yeah, the question
They
is,
gonna play dumb as hell. They literally,
Japhites
it's for them.
have 3 solid answers in history, archaeology, and prophecy.
For them.
But we still haven't finished, so let's keep going. Maybe he'll answer.
What?
Okay,
He didn't give an answer. He just said Europeans, Caucasians, white people. According to their teachings, they are all Edomites.
Okay. Your parting shot, Ron.
Okay, Europeans and Caucasians are Edomites, correct?
Yep.
So how do you explain to us who are the descendants today of Jacob's sons, Gomer, Magog, Meshach, Tubal?
I would never say Caucasians are Europeans. Europeans a continent, just like Europe's a continent, just like Asia's a continent, just like Africa's a continent. So there's different ethnicities dwelling on those continents. And also, the original Europeans were not Caucasians. So you gotta be careful when people say, are Europeans Caucasians? You could say so-called Europeans, because the actual Europeans are the original Japhites who are actually people of color and not Caucasians. So you even got to be careful how you answer that.
And Pokemon, you did not explain that.
A lot of those, yes, I can explain. If you get history books, those are the Polynesians, the Hawaiians, many of them, of Thailand, a lot of them, that's them. Because when you look at the archaeology,
you did a video.
Hold on. Bishop, hold on. Ron, hold on, Bishop, hold on. Ron, I want you to say your passing shot, and then we'll take you out and then we'll allow the people to come in. I don't want it to be a debate now. It's maybe something we can set up, but your passing shot, and then we'll allow Bishop Nathaniel, and then we'll take you out. We'll allow Bishop Nathaniel to come on.
Oh,
go ahead.
my gosh.
You have Ivan Solomon. When you look at his books, it shows that he has many.
Onward.
Wanna quit? What 80? What is shot? What 80? What is shot? What is shot? Hey, Ozzy, shut up! 180! What is shot? Shut up! Attack! Yellow! Hey, 15!
Lord, good gracious. Don't
and you can see that they're brown.
and sir, don't feel like you can just do all of that. I literally just gotta. But you know what? You know, this is the time I'm gonna tell y'all all praises, cause I know these spirits be out here lurking. They literally be out here trying to disturb your peace. But whatever you gotta do, stay in the spirit. And this is an opportunity for me to exercise practicing what I'm preaching. Because I'm already knowing. But it's easier said than done. And I'm literally getting tried as we speak. Some bullshit, like out of nowhere for no reason. But that's me. My you see my phone? That's me. That's my battle. That's my cup. That's what I gotta drink. It's a product of my decisions. It's all good. I'll lay in the bed that I made. One thing I'm gonna do is keep my peace, because at the end of the day, that allows me to shine the light. The light, the wisdom that the Most High has shown me. I get to express that. Enjoying it. Go ahead and throw that score. It's over. And you're not gonna win the game. That's what I'm saying. You was doing that off of the pick. Like, bro, chill out. You can eat a slice of this humble pie. Go ahead and pick it off. I mean, throw a pick right now, because I'm definitely about to pick it off. Because everybody need to get humbled. Starting with your ass. Do your smart thing. It's not, it's better than throwing a pick, but yeah. You get it. Reading the room. That's smart. Yes, sir.
Hey, 57, yellow. 15.
Yes, sir. Yeah, doing all of that.
You are. What is it on?
Whoo! See, there you go. There y'all have it. I promise you. The thing about spirits is they love when you give yourself over to them. The wicked spirits. I'm saying like temptations of the flesh. They love when you are focused on them. They love attention. When you don't pay them no attention, that's what aggravates them. That's when they don't have no effectiveness. They lose their juice. So, do what you gotta do. Stay in that mode. You stay in the spirit of meekness. Oh, get out of there. You stay in the spirit of meekness, knowing that you are to be tested. That's the job of the saints. Is to be able to be tested and endure the chastening. You do it like a good soldier. With a smile on your face. All praises for everything at every moment. Because that's your cup, and like your cup is for you, right? But to be able to actually drink a cup of affliction, you know that the Most High has promised that to His saints. So it's a lot of people not even drinking no cups of affliction. That means they are actually not chosen for anything. They don't have a purpose, but to be annoying or aggravate, to be the vessel for wickedness, the vessel to destroy. You are the vessel to honor. So enjoy that purification process. Endure the purification process. Come out on top. You always do. Oh yeah. I needed you to shoot that gap a little harder than that.
You gotta go right here. 15, 15. And color. Right side.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to hit that boom stick.
Hey, we're good. Hey, color.
Oh, promise.
Right side.
I'm trying to hit him with that. Okay. Oh, what y'all doing, bro? This? What is that? I'm showing this so y'all can see it. Come on, Madden. That was crazy. Two of them just stopped in the backfield. Doesn't seem suspicious.
With wavy hair. These are many of your Polynesians, some of them. Hawaiians, some of them. Not all of them, some of them. That is Japheth's sons.
Now that, although that's true, we could have gave him more extensive detail.
Y'all need to focus on tackles, bro. How do I get y'all to focus on tackles? Damn. Everybody blowing tackles, bro. Easy ass tackles, bro.
Now Ron is wrong on who he believes that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that.
I can't say that he's saying. I don't even know his position, but from what he's presenting, he has to be saying that Japheth is Caucasian.
Yeah, I think he's saying the people, because Ezekiel 38, when it talks about the God of the land of Magog, he's saying that that's Russia, and it's identifying the Russians with Gog and Magog. Well, what Ezekiel 38 is talking about, and that's why in the beginning it tells you the land of Magog. So it's not talking about the actual descendants of Gog and Magog, but rather the people who occupy that land when that prophecy takes place. Furthermore, for more evidence concerning, who are the descendants of those various Japhetic nations, Gomer, etc. When you read Daniel 9:1, it says, in the first year of Darius, the son of Artaxerxes, of the seed of the Medes, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans. So it says Darius is of the seed of the Medes. Mede goes back to Madai. Madai is one of the descendants of Japheth. Why do I bring this out? Can I show my screen real quick?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at Darius the Mede, this is him in archaeology. That is clearly not a Caucasian person. Like Bishop Nathaniel said, he has wavy, curly, coarse hair.
Thank you. I'm like, girl, y'all, goddamn, get y'all back there.
Just giving
Woo! Good shit, good shit, good shit, good shit, good shit.
Talking about white people.
Right.
And she's saying that.
People of color.
Not necessarily like us, because most people we got.
Yes, sir.
Everybody is a person of color on Earth except for Caucasians. Right? Even when you go into Japan and in China, sometimes they'll bleach their skin, but they can range from light to dark brown. Most peoples of the earth range from light to dark brown.
Hey!
Yeah.
Okay, Ron. Thank you very much.
So the big problem, this is the last thing I'm going to say.
Yes, bro.
Bishop Nathaniel and IURC, they did videos in the Pacific Islands, like Papua New Guinea and Fiji and other islands, saying that you guys are the Israelites. So how can these black people that you guys are going into these islands claiming that you're teaching them that they're the Israelites? How can they be the descendants of Japheth, Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Meshach, and Tubal, when you, I just seen the video the other day, you were in Papua New Guinea teaching that these black Pacific Islanders are the Israelites. So
That's
what
right.
is it?
Okay.
What
Let's
is it?
explain.
Okay,
Let's
Ron.
go to Isaiah 11:11. Let me explain.
Ron.
The book of Isaiah,
Okay.
chapter 11.
Hold on, brother. Hold on.
Hey.
Ron. We
My
take-
brothers are ready to get going. I see y'all in the chat. Y'all are going in the chat. That's right. The Etruscans, Minoans, pottery don't lie. Pottery is a primary source to the time period. Pottery don't lie. Artifacts don't lie. Archaeology does not lie. Etruscans, Minoans, the descendants Hebrew County lexicon said Japheth occupies the Indian archipelago. So there's so much. And like I said, if we take this debate, like it's gonna be fun. This isn't a debate where I would feel like I would have pressure. When I debate Ron Dalton, I don't feel like there's pressure. It's actually fun. In my debate with Ron Dalton, I actually switched. Well, I was feeling so good. I had an all green outfit on, and then when it was time to do the cross examination, I threw the red Genesis on. I was having fun. It ain't no pressure, right? Let's keep going.
There ain't no pressure.
Taking you out now. We need to finish this one off. We'll make some time for a debate. Okay.
Yeah,
this
let's
is my
debate.
one
Let's
thing.
debate.
Now,
Bishop.
no.
GG.
Don't run, Bishop. Do not run. I'm here.
Bishop, no.
Already.
Ron, I'm the one right here. Bishop, can I mediate?
For lawyer, because he ain't got one.
He's not ready. He's
No,
not ready.
hold on.
He ain't want to give
Ron,
up that
Ron,
heave.
Bishop Nathaniel, I don't want it to be
Whew.
a sparring debate.
Oh,
I
praise.
don't want it to be a sparring debate.
If I can do it, y'all can do it. Y'all take that as a note, man, for real. Do what you gotta do. Woo! Breathe. Keep the Most High first. See, instantly once I get knocked off my square, I don't never say knocked off my square, because I ain't never knocked. But once I feel a little pressure, that's when you just, woo, stop everything. Remember your purpose. Your purpose is to be tried like gold is in the furnace. So the trial of your faith is to build your faith to be able to withstand greater things than this. So don't get lost in the sauce of, oh, it's dramatic. Oh, it hurts. Talk about your pain. Like, no, nobody want to hear that. Think about the steps that you've learned to take. Practice those steps. Don't take your mind off of the objective. They always have a motive. Why are you doing what you're doing? If you can't answer intently whatever you're doing, what you're doing, give a good reasoning for it. It don't have to be overly righteous. Like, I'm playing Madden, but it's to like I said, to do something while I'm consuming this drama. I'm gonna do something else more, just to balance it out. But other than that, I'm working on myself. Whatever I'm doing is intent. So society would say that's like ODing, thinking too much. It ain't that serious. You ain't gotta have an answer to everything. Everything could be just, and it's like, man, why would you live a life like that? Understanding that we're like the conditions that we're under. We're in the land of our captivity. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So we have nothing but influence around us, but it was cured in wickedness. This world, and it will consume you if you don't pay attention. It will drown you out, and it will win you over. It will win over your flesh. And once your flesh is there, that's the weakest thing. Now you thinking that you know righteous and everything, that you most high did not do everything, cast out demons in your name, and have I now done many wondrous works? Now he'll say, depart from me, I never knew you, you that work iniquity. How did you work iniquity? Because you didn't do everything. You weren't examining yourself. You didn't have a reason for everything. Let reason go before every enterprise. But that's on a larger scale. But even on a smaller scale, you are in charge of your body, your vessel. So with that, tame your vessel, because you come with your spirit. Your flesh is attached. It's separate. You get what I'm saying? You aren't your flesh. You have to overcome your flesh with the word, the wisdom of the scriptures. But that will be able to give you access into the control room of your flesh. You won't be able to just, you know, uh, manipulate your flesh. You'll be able to influence your flesh, though. You got to win the influence of your flesh, because your flesh is the weakest substance about you. Take control of that. Once you do, everything else follows. The Most High shows Himself through you with, you know, how your fruits. You will be known by your fruits, but you exude righteousness and wisdom once you are filled with it. So fill yourself up, but you only get filled when you're able to open your gas tank up. Your gas tank is your flesh. When you're able to open that flap up, pour into that flap wisdom, pour into that vessel wisdom, but you gotta, the flap is your flesh. So once you're able to get access to your flesh, then you're in a better space. But a lot of people don't get access to their flesh because they're not giving their flesh the time of day. They're just getting, you know, ruled over with their flesh, which doesn't own, you know, from a retrospective, from a distant point of view, you'll be, oh no, there's no, you know, just focus on your spirit. Yeah, but if your flesh doesn't abide by your spirit, they will remain. You have the spirit that war against the flesh and the flesh that war against the spirit. You will remain in an unsteady state in all this confusion because you haven't won over your flesh. Your flesh will win you over. Something is going to happen. There will be singularity one way or another. You will get to a point where you're moving in a space. You will be moved in wickedness if you don't control your movements with the righteousness of the scriptures. You get to, you know, meditating on the precepts. You get to actually fueling your thoughts and your actions with intent, with discernment, viewing the world with discernment, and moving about accordingly based off the scriptures. When you can know when you're out of whack, or know when you're off course, or know when you're running low, on, to stay with the gas concept, when you're running low, you got to know that, oh, it's time to fill up again. That means you got to stop the vehicle, locate the flesh, the flap. You know the flesh. You know your vehicle. That's what Paul was saying. To bring it to that scripture is examining yourself. Know you not yourselves that you are the temples of God. So don't you know that you're in this vessel? Yes, you do. Once you're in this truth, you know your responsibilities as this vessel. You're a car now. Now you know that you have to open this car up and you have to maintain it. You have to constantly give it oil changes, check the fluids, at the very least give it gas. When you need to stop, you need to be able to stop, locate the gas tank, put the gas in there. You already got the right type of gas stored up. All right, cool. Be able to pour it into yourself. But if you don't, your car's gonna crash on you. Not crash, but it's gonna stop on you, and you'll stop wherever. Then you'll need to get pulled somewhere. You'll need to get pulled to the next location or something. Somebody's gonna come and help you out instead of you helping yourself out. Now you're susceptible to whatever. whoever comes along, and you're just moving. You know, you're in a worse position than if you would have just done the things the right way as you were instructed to. Now you got to learn. You know what I'm saying? Now that gets way more complex, but just to keep it simple, know yourself. Know that you are this vehicle that needs to stop continuously on a daily. Don't give yourself a hard time about it. Do what you need to do and move forward. It's not that dramatic. And with that being said, all praise to the Most High. That was the way that you could see the words being exercised, the concept being exercised. But back to it, man.
Like I said, when Negroes
And we came back and got that dug, keeping our head.
Bishop,
Dude thought he was doing
Bishop,
something
let's keep it
catching that pick.
respectful,
It's like,
please.
bro,
Let's not call each other
relax.
Negroes.
What do you say?
Look, Bishop Nathaniel called him a crab in the barrel. Like,
Yeah, he was going crazy because he didn't agree with him.
You want
Like, bro.
Negroes too?
No,
Like
Bishop
I said, when
Nathaniel.
Negroes
Bishop
food, God is an
Nathaniel.
excellent
Bishop
example
Nathaniel.
of a crab
No,
in a
Bishop,
barrel.
Bishop,
Excellent example.
Bishop, let's keep it respectful, please. Let's not call each other Negroes.
Look, Bishop Nathaniel called him a crab in the barrel. Like, I wouldn't go that far to say he's a crab in the barrel. He believes that we're teaching false doctrine. And so I believe that we need to defend the gospel. But you can say, one could argue, that we defend the gospel by just putting out the information. We don't have to debate. And that is true. You know, you don't have to. But it's just better. At least in my opinion. When your leader, who you say this is the leader, who's the top person on the planet, he'll smash anybody. Not just putting out teachings, but really go smashing it. So I just say it looks better that way.
I think the issue is with this, and this is what we have to change in this community, family. And that's myself, that's Priest, that's all of y'all.
I don't run from it, I run to it. And God does too.
But I'm saying, it doesn't have to be like, okay, if Bishop is going to debate Ron Dalton on who the Edomites are, and they'll say they have a debate, I'm going to be rooting for Bishop Nathaniel. That doesn't mean that I hate Ron Dalton. That doesn't mean it's F Ron Dalton. That doesn't mean if I see him as smoke. That's the problem within this community. That's one of several problems. When you can support somebody and still love that person. You can still be brotherly to that person.
My bad.
You can still go out to eat, go grab a drink with that person.
Yeah, no.
So, I feel like these brothers having some words like we were crab in the barrel. It doesn't need to be anything other than, hey, brother, I disagree with you. You disagree with me. Let's see whatever the truth is, and then whatever the truth is, that's what we should align ourselves. Here it's on blame. If I get annihilated in a debate and I get proven that I'm wrong, you know what? I'm wrong. Now I gotta go with what the truth is. That's period. You gotta remember, who are you? Are you supporting a person or are you supporting the truth? Which one?
Yeah, well, I get you guys' comments. The bishop made it clear he just teaches, he doesn't debate. IUIC says they don't debate. Okay, I get that and I respect that. But all I'm saying is that how can we say that what I'm saying is correct if I'm not willing to put it to the test? That's what I'm saying. I say that with my contemporaries, the leaders who are my age, of leaders that can. I say like, how y'all smash your shit, really like pressing the line, but you want to debate it? So I keep those sentiments from the elders to the younger leaders.
Yeah, I don't know about that because I've seen IUIC debate publicly. I've seen it multiple times. They even do it on Clubhouse. That's not necessarily a formal, strict debate, but it's a spontaneous debate nonetheless. So I don't agree with it. I'm not going to say you guys are scared, but I will say they're very selective.
I should have threw that better. It was open. It was beautiful.
That just is what it is.
I just want that back. Damn, I could have had that.
Ron got smashed by a captain of IUIC. Well, I haven't seen that, and so I would like to see it though. I'm always up to watch some debates, some good old debates. But if it's on Clubhouse, that's very informative. But let's keep going. I get what you're saying. You're saying if the captain destroyed you, and if it actually happened, because you listen, I know Israelites that say an Israelite won a debate when the Christian clearly, absolutely annihilated the Israelites. The Israelite community is a cult. I know guys who have gotten destroyed by Christians. So the main leader, I ain't saying this, but it's not IUIC, I will say that. But and Israelites will still say the nigga wanted to debate. So that is
oh, you didn't get that?
Man. Look at this dude right here. Look at this Lenny Kravitz. Chico DeBarge. Chico DeBarge, Lenny Kravitz looking at.
No, I'm listening. Cornelis, what nationality are you? I guarantee you I know who the culprit is. I guarantee it. What nationality are you, Cornelis? I know it. I know who you are.
Okay. Let's play some more.
Ron, I'm going to take you out now. We'll allow Bishop Nathaniel to answer. I don't want it to be a debate for now. We were just catching up on what's happening with IUIC. You said something. Man. If you agree on each side, now I'm feeling like Don King trying to put together a fight here. And I do not want to get to that. Because we are here to uplift the nation. Right? We are here to uplift the nation. Go ahead, Bishop.
Hey, I would have sat down with Ron, but the way he's coming, I like the script.
Give me that.
Man,
this nigga started blocking me while the ball's in the air.
In Isaiah 11 and
that's crazy.
So that's good. He said he would have did it, but I guess
I was on
Ron
that. That's the crazy part.
Nicer. I don't know. I think Ron was not being rude, but maybe the bishop.
The dude didn't tackle him, bro. A lot of shit just happened. That's crazy. I didn't know he was that close.
I'm not. It sounds like he's kind of like.
So
you're supposed to bow down?
Yeah, bow down, please. I was gonna say something. Oh, Ron is like I said earlier. Ron Dalton is a good body to catch. Only look, Kyrie Irving tweeted his book in his movie or whatever. That's a good body to have under your belt. Don't you want more views on your organization, which reflects the truth? You gotta have these bodies under your belt, man. That's all it's saying.
What is the what's the name? Michael Brown.
Report.
This is the difference. This is what's so unfortunate, right? There's a debate between Michael Brown and Dr. James White. Michael Brown and Dr. James White. This is one of the most respectful debates I've ever seen in my entire life. These two are friends. But they were still able to have a debate. They cracked jokes during the debate. They're laughing. The crowd is laughing. And they all recognize it's all love. Why can't we do that, man?
No. Ron texted me. Like I told y'all, we're going to play some of that video where I made him deny the Bible during our debate. But Ron texted me during all of this. And he was like, Bishop Nathan was running from me. I was like, from what topic? And he sent me the video, but I've just been so busy that I didn't know all of this. I didn't even know they got a chance to kind of talk to each other. So I'm late on all of it. But yeah, I'm still after me completely annihilating him. They had to put him on suicide watch for 24 hours. We can still pick up the phone and talk to each other, me and Ron. So let's keep going, y'all.
I don't have an issue with Bishop Nathan. He's an elder. He's got a lot of stuff to say. The biggest Hebrew Israelite congregation on the planet that he's got to be, the bishop over. Who knows what's going on in his personal life,
Hey, middle.
But I don't think it's wrong for a captain or one of the people who IUIC was nominated to be a good debater to go debate him. I don't see an issue with that. If they don't want to, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're afraid or scared. Doesn't mean that. But I don't see why either.
Isaiah chapter
I'll take the faith.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand against the second.
Yeah, we'll take the faith. But you know what? That's how we do, because we're gonna get all we're doing is just reacting to something public, and IUIC is gonna come and say, "Oh, you guys are hating on."
You know what we'll do, Bishop Nathaniel? We'll take the faith for you, and then we'll pay IUIC afterwards.
Me, turn around. Nah, we'll take the faith for y'all, man. Damn it. All right, that's how we gonna merge the camps together. Let's keep going.
To recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria,
Turkey, right?
and from Egypt, and from Paphos,
Sudan,
and from Cush,
Sudan,
and from Elam,
East India, Iran,
and from Shinar,
Iraq,
and from Hamath,
Syria,
and from the islands of the sea.
in the various islands of the sea, there are Israelites there. Is everybody an Israelite? No. Is everybody?
Okay, let me answer this last comment for a second. He said, what does IUIC gain by winning the debate with Ryan Baltimore? You get more eyes on the truth. You gain souls. And you also stop somebody from misleading the little ones into false doctrine. There's a lot that comes with winning the debate, so let's keep going.
In the Polynesian islands, no. Is everybody Papua New Guinea an Israelite? No. So that's why in John 10, give me that real quick, for Christ's sake, my sheep. This is why when you listen to us teaching, you gotta listen carefully. John 10, let me hear verse 1.
John chapter 10 and verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber.
Jump down to it says, my sheep hear my voice, and strangers they will not follow. Find me that one in there.
27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me.
So, when we go, like in America, we'll say, you black people are Israelites. Are all black people in America Israelites? No. Well, some of them got Chinese fathers, some of them got white fathers. We know that. So in Papua New Guinea, Polynesian Islands, when we say, you guys are Israelites, are they all Israelites? No. Some of them have Chinese fathers, some of them got Japhetic fathers. So guess who's going to come? Read it one more time. These are the ones that's going to repent. Read.
My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
And we stand on what Christ said. We don't stand on what any Negro says. We're always going to stand on what Christ, the Black Messiah, said. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, Ron, we're taking you out. Thank you for joining us. We will try to get you to talk to
I
Bishop
like the spirit. If you
No,
get
that's fine.
humble, you did all right.
No, it's
He's coming back.
Okay,
He's
no,
coming
it's
back.
fine. Bishop, we will settle it out
you're kind of black.
on the side. Don King will make Mayweather and Pacquiao Part 2 happen again. And we debate this calm spirit of the Lord. Right, Ron?
Yeah, I'm ready to debate when you are. I'm not running.
Okay, but we
I
need
don't
to get
debate.
to the topic. Okay,
I
so
teach.
How come nobody told me before?
What the,
Family, my neighbors.
what the heck? Oh my goodness.
I don't think he's
we
saying
stick to the topic.
complicated.
You bring your thoughts on whatever topic we have. Bishop Nathaniel, if he agrees, he will bring his own thoughts. We'll take it back to the scriptures, Ron. As I always say, give us references. As I always say, give us references.
I got it all day long.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming through. Guys, I think we're about to wrap it up now.
Wait. I will say this.
Okay.
When I debate someone, I want to see that they've accomplished something. I want to see that you have a
No,
Be quiet. Stop quiet. Let's be
We
quiet.
gotta make a
Listen.
move. We gotta make it happen.
So when you teach something, you stand on what you're teaching, right? And that means you have followers, you've established something, and you have congregations. So I want to see that. Like John Henry Crawford. Everybody else I teach. Other than that, you just listen.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that anybody who debates him has to have congregations and all that? If that's the criteria, then it is what it is.
I mean, he's popping his little nigga. That's what he said.
Popping his corn. He's popping his corn and putting extra butter on it.
That was.
That's how I stand for the REYC.
You
If you
said
don't
popping
believe
his
on,
corn.
bye. Just do your thing, my man, my brother. Do your thing.
Listen, I want all the smoke from you. I want it all.
Wow.
Bring it, and I can handle it easily.
You got that
I
ball?
can handle it easily.
Okay.
You don't have the truth.
He said, I can handle you
If you
easily.
have the truth, if you have the truth, stop being scared.
Whoa.
Okay, Ron, hold on.
If you guys have the
Hold
truth,
on.
We get a lot of bum Israelites that want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to bum Israelites.
Okay.
Ah.
Let's hope what you're saying, if he would have came more respectful. The first thing that Bishop Nathaniel just said, he said, what did he say, guys? He said, people that basically haven't accomplished nothing. Not just telling them that you haven't accomplished nothing. Now, there's a lot of bum Israel. So he's, all Ron is saying, I want smoke, I'm not scared, I'm ready than you are. That's it. That's not disrespectful. Bishop Nathaniel says, there's a lot of bum ass niggas that try to debate me. You know what I'm saying? Like, really?
You know, there's some cult members that don't believe that, you know.
He is a bum. Bishop Nathaniel says he's a bum.
We can't have respect to persons, bro. I mean, if you say, if somebody presses you on a debate and you get to call out his name and insult him, then stand on that. Hey, he pressed me for a debate, you know, while I was in the interview. So guess what? That justifies me dogging this nigga. And that's how you feel.
That can also happen too. Someone said that IUIC sat down with, I think it was a Dr. Rudolph R. Winter. That's the author of Babylon Timbuktu. If they would like to say, hey, you know what? Let's have a private discussion. That's fine. Shout out to the brother Joel from Sons of Thunder. I've had several conversations on the phone, in person, that people don't know about. Just chopping up about doctrine. So that's also something that can happen.
Yeah, with Rockazon from POW too. This is council going. This is Mighty Young Leaders Council going.
See, we talk on the side. Cool. Cheers, bye.
Like I said, you got a lot of Israelites who have nothing. They've accomplished very little, but they want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to anyone.
Bit that nigga, bro.
Teach, to preach, and keep it moving. If you believe, come on. If you don't,
So maybe he should have said, maybe Ron should have said, let me debate one of your captains or one of your deacons. And maybe they could have set that up.
Ron, pull up to IUIC. Pull up to, you know what you should do, Ron? Be honest. You should pull up to, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it, even. Pull up to the newest IUIC member who just got on the mic. Boy, IUIC is going to say, you know what, we got to debate.
Yeah, we got to get our lick back. We have to get our lick back.
joking. That has always been my standpoint. Christ didn't sit around and debate with the scribes and Pharisees. They questioned him, he answered, and he kept it moving. That's what I do. So you want the smoke, get the smoke somewhere else. Because I don't want to talk to black people like that. That's some other words that I can say.
Man, listen. When I say our elders are niggas, I'm not saying that in a bad way. Come on, let's not be too religious here. When I say our elders are some niggas, and I consider him our elders, he's one less. We got some grimy elders that, you know, we're teaching the Bible, but we got some grimy elders. I want to talk to black people.
I listen, Ron. This debate hasn't taken place. You're down already. You're losing.
Oh man,
Nigga said you're losing.
So I think it keeps going though. I think it keeps going. It's like dude forgot to take Ron off, so you keep hearing Ron in the background.
Don't say. There was another sister, Bree. I see you were trying to come in, and then we're not seeing you anymore. Just come in, respectfully so. Say whatever you need to.
Okay, now this right here though too. This is one of the captains responding. I forget the brother's name. He's all over TikTok. Tall brother with the braids. Somebody can put his name in the chat.
So this guy here, this guy right here, ain't debating no crabs in a barrel looking like this. Stop. This right here is this guy, Ron Dalton.
Go, nigga.
Ron Dalton.
Thank you.
Again, like
Bruh, that was crazy. That was actually crazy.
Bro has a condition, man. Like, you gotta be cool. He just froze his face like that. That's tough. This is Captain Gedalia. Okay.
Me trying to be nice and shit, because I know my defense is overthinking.
Okay, so what did he say?
Ron Dawson, yeah, he's the brother that did
It's actually
Hebrews, the
frustrating,
Negroes. Now, when he did his book, Bishop shouted him out years ago.
Okay.
You know, Bishop didn't have nothing against his brother years ago. When he just came into the chat or came on live while Bishop was doing an interview that solely talking about IUIC debate about doctrine. Right, we'll show you this brother has no decorum. Right, no respect.
Decorum.
Hey, that's a fair point though, Hassad. That's a fair point because they were talking about what happened in Kenya.
Oh, you don't get the
He
ball.
came and invaded to try to like get a debate about doctrine. So is that a fair point? I say that's a fair point. Like imagine me going to jail for teaching the Bible. I open up the phone line, brothers like, hey, y'all okay? Y'all need assistance? Did they pass some type of crazy law? How was your experience? And then a nigga calls like, hey nigga, I need to debate you. That is some cloud. That's some cloud chasing shit. That's a fair point. Gotta be honest with you, that's a fair point. Ron Dalton wants to smoke, but he did come in a malicious type of way. Let's just be real. But at that point, I would have been so mad, like, nigga, let's set it up, bro. I'm not feeling, excuse me. Theologically, no physical violence.
Go to the next one. So this is what he is. For that, this guy's a clown. That's exactly what he's a clown. Man, keep that on screen. He is a clown for doing what he just did. Now, go to the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 16. So the issue is this, brothers and sisters. When you weren't raised under leaders that taught you how to handle yourself, you do stuff like this. It's like a whole bunch of, the Israelite community is like a bunch of children. And Christ talks about that in Luke chapter 7, verse 31. Before you get that 2 Corinthians 10, get Luke 7:31 real quick. Christ talked about the Israelite community. It's the same thing with Lil Bow Wow, that little camp. Many of the other camps are all make IUIC $1,000.
Oh, man. Is that a shot at BOW?
Yep, it sure is.
Yo, they shooting that. Hey, the brother came out. Good at. Hey, we might get, I haven't watched this. But maybe we might get shot out in this. Hey, listen, I don't care, nigga. I got helmet, bulletproof vest. You know what I mean? I got thigh protection. You know, iron clad. No, I'm playing. But damn, he took a shot at my man Ratazan from BLW. Call him Lil Bow Wow. That's my brother. Put some respect on his name, King. Come on.
We got thousands upon thousands of members. $1,000 ain't gonna be nothing to help us.
Oh.
You understand? We trying to buy land. We trying to do a school.
Oh.
A lot of stuff.
That's a shout out to Sakari, clearly. Because Sakari tried to challenge them $1,000 to debate the new covenant.
You know, that we got down the road, Lord good, we're trying to do. $1,000 to debate you on camera. You gonna make more money off the live stream views than $1,000 that you put up. What's wrong with you guys? Then 5 months later, you know, you can call it some evil. Y'all be worried about the wrong stuff. Get your house in order, man. Stop worrying about debating IUIC. Get your house in order.
That was clearly a shot at you guys. How did it, speed up like that? Okay.
Luke chapter 7 verse 31.
Watch this.
The Lord said,
Go ahead.
whereunto shall I liken the men of this generation?
So the men he's talking about is the Israelite community. The scribes, the Pharisees, the Sadducees. He's talking about them. Right? Go ahead.
And to what are they like?
And so what is the Israelite community like?
They got a clown
They are
face.
like unto
The
children.
Israelite community is like children. Many brothers that claim to be Israelites are like children. They want to jock.
Oh my God.
They want to be able to have all the toys in the sandbox. They want to be the one that all the women like. They want to be the one to get all the views. They're making all the money. They've got the deepest breakdowns. They're not thinking about gathering the nation of Israel like this clown right here. They're not thinking about gathering the nation of Israel. This Negro want fame. That's all it is. Why else would you come into a platform where another man is talking about his organization? You come and say, yeah, I want to smoke, I want to debate. Ain't nobody got time to debate. I'm glad Bishop dismissed this dude. Bishop dismissed it. Like, look, I don't want to talk to you. What have you done? You making money, you doing this, you doing that. What have you done? Not a damn thing. But
I wouldn't, listen. Like I said, I'm keeping it fair. Ron Dalton by himself has done a lot. I'm not saying he's done more than IUIC, but he's done a lot. He had you guys marching right here. You guys went out and did this because Kyrie tweeted his book.
There's a good thing about wearing a shirt with a group called Israel United in Christ. I think there was a hate group by the Central Cowboy Lost Center. Very outside supportive view. Report! Report! Closet we were walking by.
That said, I have an army behind us.
Hey, look, y'all, we got the.
So look, I mean, y'all went and did that march predicated off of celebrity athletes tweeting around Dalton's work. Like, give him a little credit. I'm not saying he's done close to y'all. I'm not saying that. Let's not just act like he's a nobody.
Yeah, I agree with about 73% of what he said.
That's the Israelite community. Go ahead.
They are like unto children.
They are like unto children.
Sitting in the marketplace.
Read.
And calling one to another.
Watch
and
this.
saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced.
I challenge you to debate, and you won't answer me. Go ahead.
We have more unto you, and ye have not wept.
Right. You got stuff going on. And
It's do we even have to? Do you hear his breakdown on this?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's just let it play.
we need y'all here. We want to link up with y'all. No, you don't want to link up with us. You want to debate us. Y'all brothers come against us like we your enemies, and we not. Because y'all not focused. You're not focused on the movement. You're not focused on building the nation. You're focused on debates and views and money and wealth because you love America. None of you are moving out of America to go live. None of you. You want to sit right here.
Ron Dalton actually lives in Africa. He lives in Africa. Like, if you're gonna rebuke the brother, like, you gotta have your facts straight.
You America, nigga. He's talking all that. None of you brothers are leaving. Nigga, you live in America. We live in America. What are you talking about, bro? That's not even talking about.
Driving my car. Sit in your house doing a podcast. That's what you want to do. You ain't about going to the street, building people up. You just running your mouth. That's it. Now,
This is a podcast. Well, you had a couple of good points, but bro, you are in America running your mouth on a podcast. And I don't know what type of car you have, but you can pretend you have a nice car. You don't have a nice car. So we should all go to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, drive a hoopty, and now we'll have some food.
What are the cars that what is the common, you know how over here the common car is like a Kia, a Nissan, a Honda, a Toyota. What are some of the common cars over there in South Africa?
A mule.
The man foundation. 2 Corinthians 10:16. Watch this.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
To preach the gospel in the regions beyond you.
Right, the Bible said we're supposed to be preaching the gospel in the regions beyond us. Meaning you can't sit in your same city, in your same house. You got to go out and do the work.
He got multiple
And
houses.
not to boast in another man's line of things made ready to our hand.
Right, a lot of y'all learn from Bishop Nathaniel. Just keep it 1,000. Right. A lot of y'all learn from Bishop. And now you disrespect people. Look, young dudes that I borrow Bishop Nathaniel. Man, we'll put you on our knee and spank your ass.
His face.
No, I don't like this. Weird because they keep doing this. Every time we address the situation with IUIC, I always see one thing in common. They all think that we're secretly watching IUIC videos and writing down the breakdown. I'm being honest.
Listen, then we should be teaching that God hates multiple wives. I shouldn't have a hat on. We should be teaching that the mark of the beast is damn sin, something crazy. We should be teaching that Jesus Christ is the God of the Old Testament. What else should we be teaching?
Sabbath is tonight.
Sabbath is, I'm going
You can't wear pants.
I'm going to buy so much Don Julio Reposado tonight, right when the sun goes down. So, like, we got to stop that, bro. You guys you're putting in work, you're doing your thing. You're doing your thing, but there are some false claims, too, at the same time.
But you're saying that you put brothers over your knee and spank them, but what do you mean? You're not going to do it theologically, apparently.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Because, nigga, we can really know.
Oh, man. They probably look at us like badass kids.
No word of it.
Some of us just hit if you would equate the truth to the time, if you would equate the truth to like a child's progression through, grade school, some of us might be 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. You feel me? Some of the senior captains, they graduating high school now. Some of the deacons on up until they 20 years, they adults. And then you got the bishops who are
the map cartographer. We are not Shikari. We're not affiliated with Shikari King. Shalom now.
grown in this truth for almost 40 years. And then you got to do, he 3 years into, he just learned. And then he said, I want to challenge the adult. You crazy. No 3-year-old comes up to a 36, 37-year-old man and say, yo, I want to smoke.
Ron been in
the man laugh at his little ass. What are you talking about?
Ron.
Right, who does that? A brother that wants preeminence.
Well, listen, although Ron was wrong, but he's been around since like 2012, I think. And that's nothing on the bishop. I'm just saying that he hasn't been in for only 3 or 4 years.
Is that the one built on another man's foundation? What is that? Is that in that same chapter? It's in that same chapter, I think. Yeah, verse 14. Build on another man's foundation. Oh, that's, I know what I want. Romans 16. Romans chapter 16 and verse 20, I believe. Yep.
The book of Romans 16, verse 20.
15. Okay, yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 20.
Go ahead.
Yea, so I have strived to preach the gospel, not where Christ was saved, lest I should build upon another man's foundation.
Right, that ain't the spirit of Christ going to build on another man's foundation. Another man has been invited to do an interview. You interrupt the interview that he has been invited to do to challenge him on something that doesn't have anything to do with the interview.
Stop being a damn fool.
That's why I said that's that crabs in a barrel, the children in the marketplace. That's that same spirit. It's no different. And I'm thankful that we got leaders that taught us how to deal. I'm glad Bishop dealt the way he dealt. He didn't get involved. Bishop didn't go back and forth with the brothers and when he went to the scripture, but he never did what it is. You know the debates are equal. Everybody else who teach. Bishop went down and debate none of y'all. Yes, it is what it is. Somebody mad about it and say we glorify man. No, we just give respect where respect is due. We give
Who deserve respect though?
Honor them that came before you. That when they Christ.
For the record, Genesis is not looking to debate you guys. So whatever camp is trying to debate you guys, leave us out of it. We're not trying. I mean, we take all things, but we're not actively calling you guys out for a debate.
It's before you. That's what we do. So it is what it is. You feel me? Go ahead, Cap. You got some good. And the host stated that before any questions are open up, the line of questions before he opened up, he said, listen, ask questions according to the topic. He said, yep. The brother came on with no respect, took us in a totally different direction. Very disrespectful. Give me Mark chapter 12 real quick. Mark 12 and
Now, again, so if you guys are just tuning in.
So this is that bullshit. This is where I be like, I didn't watch it, this part. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, this is the live reaction. I'm like, this is when it's like, it's other people on the IURC platform. This is like the podcast table talk type of thing. And it's like, man, the brother was completely disrespectful. Like, bro, this is, nigga, what? You acting like, bro, y'all are the royal family. And it's like, you know how they had in the old days, they had, you know, where someone would come to speak to the king, and it's like you were sent, or you came and you had to jump through hella hoops, and you finally got there, and you had to bend your head down and say, "Oh Lord, I am lower than thee. I do not deserve to be in your presence. Humbly I ask if you would hear these words," preceding whatever statement you had, or question, or whatever. Like, bro, this ain't, nigga, what? Talking about just giving respect where respect is due. That's you honoring the hoary heads for the experience, for their experience, and them teaching you wisdom. That's what the honor is for, because they did it in righteousness. There's nothing else other than that, bro. This is the bit, bro. I'm saying Bishop Nathaniel because I'm thinking that's his whole name. The bishop, that title doesn't mean anything to me. To y'all, it meaning something is crazy because, bro, it is just a title. There is like a Mr. Like I would be my Mr. my last name. That's a title. That's all it is. It doesn't give you anything. And it shouldn't give you the ability to feel like you owe anybody anything, especially a man. It's like, bro, we are all equal. When it comes down to it, he will be judged just as you. Like Christ won't be judged like us because he's not here. You get what I'm saying? So why won't we reserve all our reverence for him? Because he's not our equal. Everybody else here is our equal. We're not on the same level as like angels. So, we will reverence them a bit different. When it comes to Christ, he is our literal example. Christ is the image of the Most High. We're made in his image, but we're surrounded in his flesh again. So, by him being surrounded in his flesh, bro, it's like, who, you know what I'm saying? Who are you giving the reverence to? When it comes down to it, then. You can't say you gotta say it's him. You're not saying that the Most High, because the Most High gave you the reason, the vehicle, the avenue. The way to pray to him is through his Son. The way to get to him, to praise him, is through his Son. Everything goes through his Son. So by you having this foreseen reverence to this man, like, he was completely disrespectful when he did, bro. This is what y'all just call this man a clown. Because he didn't do anything in a protocol that men made up that doesn't have, bro. Those are your rules. You set those out and you actually bend them depending on, favoritism. You have respect to persons. Why? Because you're in the flesh. Everybody has weak points. Nobody's perfect out here just doing whatever they're supposed to do as they're supposed to do it. Everybody falls. So just to hold them to that, to preface, like this whole thing, y'all responded to this quote unquote attack on your bishop, but the whole response is starting off as he came up and he was completely disrespectful. He didn't stay on topic. What? He's addressing something that had something to do with something. Salvation, obviously. That's the only thing that interests me. But I'm gonna stop talking. But it's just crazy because, like, bro, y'all, they cry so much. And I hate complaining because my issue with complaining, I'll end up sounding like I'm complaining. I'll be hearing myself like, bro, now I'm doing what these niggas doing. Damn.
Ron Dalton has been on a press conference going in on the Israelites, saying that they're running from him. I'm gonna play some of this again.
You're not teaching truth. Like this guy, they don't let him talk about it.
Hey, real quick. You said we need to. He needs to debate Captain Cesario. Let me just say this. Y'all know I love my captain, but Captain is the first one I called today, and Captain told me he don't want to debate him. Captain says he said I don't want to debate Ron Dalton. Now I don't know what reasons Captain had for that. That's on him. Maybe we can bring him on the show.
I know the reason.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. A long time ago, a lot of the camps were teaching that all Africans are Hamites. You know what I'm saying? African booty snatchers, they're all Hamites.
He keeps saying African booty snatchers, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
What would you want to debate him?
Like I say, so all the camp leaders, like Captain Cesario, they're all over fire.
So let's get into what actually happens when he debates in a formal debate. When he debates one of the leaders from the One West. I'm not an elder. I'm not saying I'm on Bishop Nathaniel's level. But let's just see what happens when he debates one of the leaders from the One West Israelite camp. It gets bad. He starts to deny the Bible. So this is a debate proclaimed author Ron Dalton versus Deacon Genesis. The Holy Land Deception.
DC, ready?
Is the Holy Land in Sub-Saharan Africa that Ron Dalton affirms, or is it in the so-called Middle East? This is just a cross-examination. You guys have to hear it. Let's play some of this. Let's play some of this. I'm feeling like Superman Clark Kent. I had to go change my outfit. I'm feeling like Superman Clark Kent. Nigga had to go change up real quick, man. You understand that? I said, what?
Catch, boy.
Okay, now, I'm moderator. All right, not moderator, I'm host. All right, let's go.
Yes,
3,
sir.
2, we can start. All right. Again, I want to thank Brother Ron for having this discussion. All praises, Brother Ron. How old is the Earth? An estimate.
I don't think anybody knows that question. You know, if you go by the Bible and what they tell us, and you kind of go backtrack, they make.
Let me give you guys some context. In round 1 or 2, the Bible talks about bears. Elijah called the bear out to destroy the little kids. There's no bears indigenous to South Africa or Africa, period. One migrated up to the north, I believe, from the Middle East. But in sub-Saharan Africa, there's no bears native there. He tries to go get a bear and says, look, there's a scholar or there's information about a particular bear that was indigenous to South Africa. I looked up the bear, and the bear was millions and millions and millions of years old. And he's about to get destroyed. Watch this, y'all.
They say it's 6,000 to 10,000 years, but you know I hear others that say it's more than that.
What can you give us an estimate? Look, gun to your head, what would you say?
Well, I mean, some people say that 6,000, 8,000 BC is older.
This is a scholar. This is a scholar. He doesn't know. Okay, 8,000. Okay. So you don't believe it's like a million years old? No. Okay. Do you know that the bear you presented, the source says the bear that you presented from South Africa is approximately 11.6 to 2.5 million years ago. That's when it existed. That's the source that you quoted for the bear.
That's cool.
But the Earth isn't that old.
That's cool. If the bear is supposedly the oldest on Earth, then that's what the white man says. The age of the bear is. But we know the skeletons were found in the Earth in South Africa. Okay. Then hey, it's in the Earth in South Africa.
I'm satisfied. Hey, middle. That's what happens when you debate a one West leader in this thing. So when did the white man switch the land of Israel? When did they start this conspiracy of moving into the Middle East?
Well, if you look at the history of when the Greeks and the Romans entered into Africa, and when they came to the continent, then this is according to what we would look at today's people writing the history for us, because at the end of the day, we know that the history that we get is written by the colonizers, by the victors, by the conquerors. So according to their history, the appearance of the white man into the continent of Africa started with the Greeks, and the Greeks, of course, were the ones that gave us our first Old Testament, which is the Greek Septuagint.
Okay, so the cover-up started around, 300 BC when the Greeks came into power?
The cover-up started when the Greeks came into Africa, and they then just magically produced the Old Testament as if we had Israelites that had this all recorded down to some reporter. They had it all written down, and they just handed it to the Greeks. The story that they gave us about the 70 elders and how they, were put into a room, and they all had to write the Bible out, the whole story, and they all matched each other, so it had to be a work of God. And that's how they came with the Septuagint, because they had 70 people, that 70 Israelites that supposedly put together that book. Then, this is when the Greeks had the power to change, add, delete, authorize, just like when you see a movie and it says based on a true story.
Okay, so what year would you place that at, circle?
Alexander the Great, they say, came in around 325 BC, and
So according to your answer, that means the cover-up started around 300 BC, in between 200 and 300 BC. Now, Herodotus existed 450 BC, which is 200 years before the cover-up, but he says that the land of Israel is in between Phoenicia and Egypt. So what's your response to that?
Well, again, Herodotus did not write the Bible. So if he wrote the Bible, then who wrote the Bible? Is it Herodotus or is it somebody else?
You got a right to rhetorical question.
Okay, so Herodotus lived in the, I think, the 3rd century BC. So Herodotus claimed to be around when the Persians were ruling Asia Minor and areas that Greece had had. And under his assumption, he believed that Phoenicia, well, Phoenicia is a Greek term, it doesn't necessarily equate to exactly what the land of the south or the land of Canaan is, but he used that term Phoenicia as what we
This
see
nigga
today
is
as
terrible at passing. Keep running that little play, bro. Keep running. Passing is not your thing.
You know, Phoenicia, when I look at the word Phoenicia, I equate that to being the area of the Levant, more on the land of Lebanon. So he will be using that term to describe that at the land of Lebanon.
Okay, well, he says that Palestine is in between Phoenicia and Egypt, so he wasn't equating Palestine to Phoenicia. Did you say that the Bantu people were never scattered, only migrated?
The Bantu people, they migrated from Egypt south.
It's a yes or no question, then you can explain.
I'll stop the time. Just for clarity, Deacon Rapaz, you have to say yes or no. We just what the beginning of it is, so it's not a yes or no question. He doesn't have to say.
Okay, got you. So I'll rephrase the question. Were the Bantu people scattered? Yes or no?
Bantu people scattered into sub-Saharan Africa
Stop. You have to start off with the yes or no.
Okay, yes.
Okay. So on one of your shows, you said they were never scattered.
Scattered, like, because when you look at scattered can mean scattered within the land, and scattered also across the ocean. So the word scattered can mean within the land and across the ocean. So I don't think that meant that in terms that they never left Africa, or they.
To point out, I gotta point this out. He's saying that during Alexander, that's when they said the land of Israel is in the Middle East and no longer in sub-Saharan Africa. But my point is, Herodotus lived before Alexander and said that Israel is where it is in the so-called Middle East. That was bad. Now Ron is saying the Bantu people are the Israelites, and they're all Israelites, and they possess the land of Israel over there in South Africa. But the Bible says the Israelites will be scattered. He said the Bantu people were never scattered, disqualifying them and that geographical locale from fitting the prophecy. Let's continue. Okay. All right. So Luke 21 and 24 says that the Gentiles would occupy the land of Israel until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. So who are the Gentiles that occupied sub-Saharan Africa?
Okay, so the Bible says Gentiles would come to the land with the sword, and they, mean the Israelites,
stop doing this play. I mean, yeah.
Into
just
all nations.
keep running.
Not Babylon.
Don't try to pass it.
All nations. And it said that the Jerusalem would be trodden down. The word downtrodden, trodden down means to oppress, to harshly treated people, to not allow them to do certain things. Because when you are a downtrodden people, the same thing is trodden down. When you are downtrodden people, you are oppressed people. So when Gentiles came into sub-Saharan Africa, they did exactly that. They trodden down, downtrodden the Bantu Negro people, as we can see today with the history of colonialism, slavery, and even what they're doing to this day. And they're still doing it to this day, even though the Bantu people are the majority in sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay, but it says until the time of the Gentile. Okay, so Leviticus 26 and 32 says that our enemies would possess our land. Is that happening in the land that you believe is Israel?
Yeah, but the land that's in Sub-Saharan Africa, yeah, the Gentiles behind the scenes are still the puppet master running the show. The colonial powers have never, we may have seen them leave physically, but they're still in control. And you can look at policies and things being passed in Africa to know that the Gentiles still have a stronghold in Sub-Saharan Africa. So they're still oppressing and doing exactly what they said the Bible says they're doing.
Okay. Can the Nile River drown 3 million people, the whole Egyptian army? I'm sorry, not 3 million, but how can the Nile River drown the whole Egyptian army?
The Nile River is not just a 8 feet, 10 feet deep body of water. The Nile River gets close to 60 to 80 feet. And if anybody that's not a swimmer, you know you can drown in a 10-foot pool, a 12-foot pool. Yes, that's possible. And
I'm saying, but the width of it, the width on average is 8.5 of a mile. So one thing, okay, no, scratch that. So do you agree with the Bible that the Assyrians invaded the land of Israel?
According to what the Bible says, yes, and I have proof of that.
Okay, cool. Now, did the Assyrians invade Sub-Saharan Africa?
That's what I meant by Israel. That the Assyrian Babylonians did occupy the land of Sub-Saharan Africa. I have genetic proof to prove that.
Okay, what's your source to prove that?
It's in H1TV. The genetic articles that prove that the DNA of the ancient Assyrian Babylonians is mixed in our DNA.
So mixed DNA means that the people were conquered?
Well, when the Babylonians came and they conquered Israel and they came back to the land.
Holy smokes. This was bad. We thought the Greeks, Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, Romans all conquered Israel according to history, archaeology, and prophecy. But history, archaeology, and prophecy says they never conquered South Africa. We got a problem. This is where he says he doesn't believe in the Bible already.
Israel on the Persians.
See, that's the crazy part. He talking about this is where he say he don't believe in the Bible. He didn't say he didn't believe in the Bible. He just saying that to make a clip, like a title, like buzzwords. Oh, he said he don't believe in the Bible. No, he just because he said something, you can't say that. That's essentially you saying. No, that's not saying it. If it's not saying it, don't say it.
He spoke French, he had spoke French language from French wide. So we know that when they were in Babylon, they were attacked by Assyria because they intermixed these people, therefore intermixing the DNA with the people.
Okay, is there any historical evidence that the Assyrians conquered Sub-Saharan Africa?
When you look at the historical evidence that we provide to assume that they invaded anywhere, you're going off just the writings of Greek. You can't use archaeological findings because all the findings, like I said earlier, are in other countries. They're not in Israel.
Okay, the Lakish relief. 5 minutes left. Yeah, the Lakish relief says the Assyrians invaded Israel. So, do you have any archaeology or history that says the Assyrians invaded Sub-Saharan Africa? Yes or no?
Yes, it's in the DNA of the Bounce people.
I didn't say DNA. Historical or archaeological?
Okay, even the people believe were not found in Israel, were found in Nineveh.
Okay, my question is, do you have any historical or archaeological evidence to prove that the Assyrians invaded Sub-Saharan Africa? Yes or no?
There's no archaeological evidence in Israel showing that the Assyrians
yes or no. So I'm gonna have him restate the question. And you just got to start with an yes or no.
No, I'm fine with that. We can move on. All right, is there any archaeological or historical evidence that the Persians conquered Sub-Saharan Africa? Yes or no?
Yes, there is proof. Biological proof.
I didn't say biological. I said, is there any historical or archaeological evidence that proves the Persians conquered Sub-Saharan Africa?
Well, DNA carries proof. DNA carries with us throughout history. So this is historical proof.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so now, is there any archaeological historical proof that the Greeks and Romans conquered sub-Saharan Africa?
Well, I don't go by that because the Old Testament doesn't say that Alexander the Great invaded Israel. It doesn't say that the
I
Greek
didn't say
kings
Alexander,
invaded
I said the Greeks. The Maccabees
Yeah.
did that the Greeks invaded Israel.
First
Just got
king
Okay,
that
how much time do I have left?
we a little bit above 3 minutes. Just let them land.
Okay.
the first king that invaded so-called Africa or Israel was Alexander the Great,
How was that
and that's
not
nowhere in the
catchy?
Old Testament.
Okay, cool. So, my next question is, you said the Edomites are in control of modern day Israel, correct?
The Edomites are in the land of the Horites. This is the land of the Neanderthals, the cave dwellers. That's what the word Horite means cave dweller, and that's in modern day Israel.
Okay, so the Bible says that the Israelites would be out of their land in captivity until the time of Christ. Do you agree with the text?
Well, nobody is in slavery right now in the world that's God's people or Negroes. So, yes, we are in the land of our captivity in America, but in terms of a sense of captivity, meaning a sense of oppression, then throughout sub-Saharan Africa and also the diaspora and also in the East, we are in a state of captivity. We're not physically changed.
Okay, why does the Bible say Abraham went south to Egypt? And if the sub-Saharan Africa is the land of Canaan, he would have went north to Egypt.
Because south is going towards the equator, and Abraham went south. Word together means south. It's like the Hebrew word for north, east, and west.
Okay. Body. And you agree that Babylon is America?
Yes, I do. Well, the phrase "the daughter of Babylon" is referring to America. It's not referring to Iraq.
Okay. And Edom is south of Israel. So where's Edom according to you?
Well, the Bible says that Esau couldn't dwell in the land of Jacob, and he went far away from the land of his brothers to the land, of course, which is the land of the Horites, and he dispossessed the Horites, and the Horites were there living in the land before he got there. And like I said, see the Horite means hairy cave dweller, and the most Neanderthal caves are seen in Israel.
Okay, so I'm asking you, if the Bible says the land of Edom is south of Israel, then where is that in sub-Saharan Africa?
The land of Edom, which the Greeks and the Gentiles say is south of Israel, is what you're going by. But
no, I'm going by the Bible. Numbers chapter 30, verse 3.
Yes, and the first Bible was given to us by the Greeks, so we don't have an original Hebrew Bible written by God's people that we can refer to. So we have to refer to the Greeks. And it says in the Bible that Esau and Jacob separated. Esau went far away from his brother to another land where he could live with his own people, and he dispossessed the Horites. The Horites were cave dwellers. The place on earth that has the most cave dwellers from Neanderthals is Israel. That's a known fact.
Are the Bantu people Northern Kingdom or Southern Kingdom?
I don't know the answer to the question. They're a mixture of all both, one and two. North and south.
Okay, so 1 minute left. So in Numbers chapter 34, verse 3, it says that Edom is south of Israel. Do you agree with that text? Yes or no?
Well, you can go by the text and say.
I'll pause the time. You got to start off with a yes or no. You can restate the question, Carl.
Yes. So my question is, Numbers 34 and 3 says that Edom is south of Israel. Do you agree with the text? Yes or no?
I don't agree with that part of the text. I think it's been off.
Whoa! Got him. Got him.
That was fair.
That's how you get a nigga to not believe in the Bible. Whoop a nigga so bad he stopped believing in the Bible. Beat the B-Zoy up so busy. We gotta hear that again. Beat the B-Zoy up so busy. So my question is, Numbers 34 and 3 says that Edom is south of Israel. Do you agree with the text, yes or no?
I don't agree with that part of the text. I think it's been altered.
You gotta stop the time.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the part of the text. No.
Okay, no, he doesn't agree with the text. Okay. So lastly, what I'll say is, what do we got? Okay, in Deuteronomy 30. Oh no, 2 Kings 25. I'll land it here. 2 Kings chapter 2. Yeah, 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 25 to 26. It says that the Israelites are fleeing from Babylon. They're fleeing north. They're fleeing south, rather. Excuse me. They're fleeing south. Let me just pull that up. Let me pull that up real quick. Pause my time real quick so I can end it on this last question.
We good. It's the last question. We good.
Kings 25. Okay. Once I start reading it, you can start my time. Okay.
They go straight up out that hill. So they stop passing away.
In 2 Kings 25 and 26, it says, then all the people of Judah, from the least to the greatest, as well as the army commanders, fled in panic to Egypt, for they were afraid of...
I told them stop passing. And I know y'all can't hear the opponents on the stream. I realized that maybe a couple weeks ago. I'm like, y'all can't even hear nothing anyways. That's why I turned the volume up, because it's like, y'all not missing no in-game commentary. Bruh, he was talking hella shit. It's like, bro, I just had to turn him down and tune him up. I'm like, he ain't even worth talking to. He was just too, bro. Look how you got down the field, bro. Look what the play was running. All I had to do was run another scheme or package. All I had to do was put 4 down linemen, for real. But he was simpleton. But you know, all praises.
Babylonians. So the Israelites are fleeing to Egypt, but you're saying that Egypt is north of Israel, and so why would we be fleeing north if we're being attacked from Babylon, who is from the north?
Whew. Yeah, that's a good question. It doesn't give you direction that they fled. We do know that Egypt is a location, but when you look at this book of Jubilees, the Ethiopians say in their text that God warned Jeremiah to tell the Israelites that to flee Israel or Jerusalem, and on the way to Babylon, stop in Egypt. On the way to Babylon, stop in Egypt. This is in their text, the book of Jubilees. A lady read it to me in Geaz and Amharic, and they said because of that scripture, they believe that the true land of Canaan is in sub-Saharan Africa. So on the way to Babylon, you would have to go to Egypt to get Babylon. So this is in their text. So I'm going with more what their text says. In Ge'ez, it's a Semitic language, than what we have in our King James Bible, which is a Masoretic or Greek translation or authorization by the Gentiles.
Tom, that concludes.
Wow. Hassad, he said, what about the book of Jubilees?
He said that Jubilees said, it's so ridiculous, and I went into it earlier. He said the source in the Ethiopian Bible's version of Jubilees, where it says that the Israelites went to Egypt and stopped by Babylon on their way there. He said that God told Jeremiah to warn the people to do that. The word Jeremiah does not appear one time in the Ethiopian version of the book of Jubilees. The word Babylon appears 2 times in the book of Jubilees, and neither of those cases is it in reference to the Israelites fleeing from the Babylonians. This guy has no idea what he's talking about as it relates to this issue. Okay.
Yeah.
There is a link in the chat. Y'all can join the panel. Link in the chat to join the panel. Link in the chat to join the panel. All praises, questions, comments, smoke. Let's play a little bit more of this right here. So we get some smoke.
Rabbinical Hebrew upholding Torah tradition with the pedigree and the lineage. It doesn't have to be a direct lineage, but a lineage of black men upholding Torah tradition. So I would like to ask you if you know historically 13. That can be proven, name and time period of a black man upholding, or black men upholding the Torah as tradition, like we see the Europeans doing throughout the centuries.
Okay, so the Bantu people, the Bantu people in Africa, different tribes, they are upholding.
That was a dumb question. I think him and the pie. What did him and the pie talk about? Let's see what we do. Let's see.
Appreciate it, Ron. I'm not trying to rustle your feathers. I'm just saying community. You gotta support.
So
Hebrews,
bring up
Negroes.
1 minute on Ron.
You said who is Nepal? Here's Nepal. Nepal is going to close the show out. I got to make a quick run the floor.
Okay, great. Fine. How are you, Ron Dalton?
Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I think we met before, right? On the last show?
Yes, we did. We did. I don't think, I mean, I listened in, but I just want to be sure
Her mic is super loud.
your position. So your position is like who? I didn't get to hear, unfortunately,
Like you hear
who you say
all her
Esau
damn
is.
teeth.
Yeah, Esau is a
Damn,
lineage
back that
that
motherfucker
has
up.
mixed himself with Africans, Shemitic tribes.
It's like I don't want to
and
hear her
what you
portion.
might call today European
For
tribes.
real, it's too loud.
But he has not replaced, you know, the whole European nation or the whole African nation or the whole Semitic nation with his bloodline, with his male seed. That's where the Israelites fall
Probably
in
could have
error.
passed. Same thing with the
And
last
you
dude.
can prove this
Hey,
easily
don't
with
let me talk out your game, my boy.
history,
You getting on the field, good
genetics,
shit.
and other things. But
Just know, as soon as
mainly
you pass
can
it.
use history and genetics to seal the deal and
That's
just
what I thought
cancel
of.
all of these erroneous teachings on Esau is the white races.
Okay, so who put us in slavery under your tongue? Leave it. Who put us in slavery?
Yeah, so when you talk about us, I like to describe us in terms of the DNA haplogroup. So regardless of what you're talking about, let's say the Kikuyu, the Abarusi, the Akamba, the Sukuma, the Zulu, the Kosa, the Bukando, the Ashanti, the Igbo, the Yoruba, you know, all the Mandinka in Senegal, Gambia, they all have the same Y DNA, the father, E1B1A. And on the East African side, when the Arab slave trade started.
You said what?
That's just not true. That's the predominant DNA of West Africa, but to say that they all are E1B1A is incorrect. For example, my genetic haplogroup, my ancestors come from West Africa, but my genetic haplogroup is EP252 or EM96. So to say that they all have E1B1A, that's one of the larger ones, but that's not.
DC, ready? DC.
I mean, I think you have to be over there to see that though.
600 AD, the Arabs, the black Arabs, were enslaving the Bantu people, our descendants, or our ancestors, I'm sorry. They were taking us on slave ships or dhows to the Arabian, countries. The Indians also, the East Indians, the Persians, they also came along that Red Sea coastline, the East African, part, and they took a lot of slaves, Bantu slaves, to the east. Now, talking about the transatlantic slave trade of Central Africa and West Africa.
He's double talking because he told me they didn't get scattered. Well, I mean, I don't know.
The European
triple talking
countries came to Africa, and the African kings and chiefs.
All right.
That were
nigga.
Prophet, what's going on?
What's happening, brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Coming in hot, man. You want
What's up, my brothers?
Who you believe Esau is today?
Hold on real quick. I just want to say this, man. I want to say I love you, brothers, man, for real. And I learned so much from y'all. That youngster right there on there, Hassan, love you too, my good brother. Man, hey, all the way back, man. At least 7 years. I've been watching y'all, man.
Now it's time to die. So I can play. I'm joking.
Yeah, so the question was, who do I believe?
I'll try to.
The Edomites on today?
If I would have waited like 1 more second, I didn't have to rush that.
I feel like that's not the easiest question. Some would say, the Arabs.
I did that in hopes that like maybe
there's
he'll
many
pass
different
it back.
I just feel like we know in part and we prophesy for. We don't know everything, bro. And we just got
Well, don't
here.
pass it
We
if you
don't
can't
know.
pass it.
A lot of them.
Don't.
Didn't you say we were wrong? Didn't you say we were wrong?
Well, what I'm saying is, what I do know is the Edomites are not the white man, according to the Bible. According to the Bible, it's very simple.
What Bible verse says that Edomites are not the white man?
Well, you asking me in specifics as far as...
Well, you said the Bible says that Edomites are not white, so what verse are you quoting?
Well, let me start right here. According to the doctrine, okay, that's out there, that in the nations that are being used to say that they are the white man, those ain't the nations. You want me to prove it?
I don't know what that means.
For example, right? The Isles of the Gentiles, right? Genesis 10, correct?
Yep, let's do it.
So let me ask, go there real quick, but I'm gonna ask you this question, okay?
Yeah.
Because we have a major problem here. Don't cover your face up, Deacon. It's gonna be simple. Look, watch this. Yeah.
I'm just tired.
Okay, I thought he was right. No, watch this. I'm telling you. I hear you. Watch this. Here's my first question. Who are the Ashkenazi Jews? Are they Edomites?
Ashkenazi Jews are predominantly Edomites, yes. The reason why they're called Ashkenazi Jews is because of the lands, not because of their descendants from Ashkenaz.
Yeah, but who is Esau?
What do you mean who is Esau?
Like, what I'm saying, who does Esau descend from? Who does he come from?
He comes from Isaac.
Right. He comes from Isaac, Esau, correct? And those are Shemites, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So let's read Genesis 10. We're going to start right here at Genesis 10, right?
No problem.
At the first verse. It says, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were the sons born after the flood. So, pay attention to the Japhites, right? Watch this. Now, here we go. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Gog, Mighty, I don't never know how to pronounce all the names, and Jabin, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus. So who is Gomer? Who is Magog? Who is Jabin? Who are these nations that we have listed on the table of nations?
We can answer that, and we did earlier in the broadcast, but for the record, you're supposed to be proving that the Bible says
You think
white
you're gonna
people
get a
are
stop?
not
That's cute.
Edomites.
Well, just bear with me.
Stop the
This is
first
what I'm
down.
saying. Look.
Stop the first
So what I'm
down.
saying, remember I'm saying according to the doctrine that's being taught that they are the Edomites. That's my stance.
I understand, but can
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So wait, I'm getting there. I ain't gonna be
Yeah,
a
throw
little
it.
trust me. What I'm showing you is that, and then you go on, Ashkenaz comes from Japheth.
Yes.
None of these nations come from Esau. Esau is a Shemite, brother.
Okay, brother. The reason why they're called Ashkenazi Jews is because of the lands that they came from, not because of
They
their...
reach come from all of these nations, not just asking.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Their descendants into Ashkenaz. Similarly, the Sephardic Jews claim that they come from Spain. Am I correct, Deacon?
The Sephardic comes from Spain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, because the word Sephardic, going back to Spain, has nothing to do
Which is what? Tarshish, right?
What?
Tarshish, right?
That's what they say. They say Sephardim means Spain, but the scholars are saying that this is an unknown location. But they, anyway, because they're hijacking our identity, they're taking claim to this that name, Sephardic.
Right. Nonetheless, they're using the geographical location in which they're from, then Jews, Ashkenazi Jews, Sephardic Jews. They're not saying that they are the people that come from originally Ashkenaz. They're not saying.
Yeah, but listen, don't lose my point. Don't lose me.
Hold on, let the brother, lonely prophet,
I'm
let the man land his plane, brother. Lord of Christ.
For example, are Babylonian Jews, are they the ethnic people of Babylon, or are they Israelites whose their birthright is
right, of course. I mean, I don't have to disagree with that. But listen to my point. My point is when you deal with the seed line is what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The seed line. That's the only thing that I'm trying to make my point here. Because as
we all saw
watch
that.
how easy this is. Are there Israelites called Africans?
Listen, that has nothing to do with my point.
No, you're about to get destroyed. No, you're about to get destroyed. Let me tell you how you're about to get destroyed. Hold on. Let me tell you how you're about to get destroyed.
Y'all know exactly what I'm saying.
That Edomites can't be Caucasian because there's Ashkenazi Jews, so that means these Caucasians would have to go like Ashkenazi. Hold on. That's what you're saying. That's what you're asserting. That's what you're purporting. But Israelites are called Africans. Why? Because people can be called by the names of where they dwell. So if that's not your argument, I don't think anybody in this chat can understand where you're trying to land your plane.
I mean, if they.
All right, are you ready? What I'm saying? Watch this. Ashkenaz, Gomer, Magog, the Romans, the Greco-Romans do not descend from Esau. Esau comes from the Shemitic seed line. These nations come from the seed of Shabbat.
Okay, so what did the original?
That's the facts. The Bible told you that.
Okay, cool. What did the original Japhites look like?
I'm not worried about what they look like, bro. What I'm talking about is, listen, I know you're gonna try to cut me because it's the truth, brother.
No.
See what I'm saying?
Tell me, according to history, archaeology, and the Bible, what the original Japhites looked like.
Oh, they were black folk.
So when did they turn white?
So is Esau a new breed of white people?
No, that's not what I'm asking.
So it's a new breed of what I'm saying. So what's the question? I'm sorry.
When did the original Japhites, who were black according to you, turn white?
Whoever said that they turned white, that's not an argument.
No, who are the Caucasians biblically today?
You tell me who they are. You say they
No.
He's out of here, man.
I'm going to just start by this source real quick. This is
You're out of here, bro.
This is Lamentations 4 and 22 in the this is the Targum Jonathan's rendition of it. After this, your iniquity will be finished, O congregation of Zion, and you will be freed by the hands of King the Messiah, and Elijah the high priest, and the Lord will no longer exile you. And at that time I will punish your iniquities. Wicked Rome, built in Italy, and filled with crowds of Edomites. He said the Romans, the Greeks, these are not just Edomites, these are descendants. Get down, buddy.
What?
All right, Michael, what's up?
Bro, this.
No, real quick, real quick. The Baka War is right, and this is why everybody needs to be in the Genesis Varsity Online Academy, specializing in Hebrew apologetics. Buddy's been watching us for a completion of years and has not acquired the power yet. So y'all make sure you join the varsity so you don't have to be like him. And I'm only on YouTube live once a week now. So if y'all want the real academic scholarship, extensive biblical sophistication, this is where you need to be at. Maka War, go ahead.
Shalom, brother.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, I was wondering, I know that, that's a topic. I know you say you got it coming up about to talk about as far as whether or not we're in the new covenant or not. I was just trying to see if we can just walk through Jeremiah 31 to 34, and maybe I could see what you're saying, understand why you're saying that you still believe that we're in the old covenant based on what's written in verse 31 through verse 34.
Thank you. God damn.
All right, well, then, I'll tell you what.
Go
on after the debate, and I'll come back after. We'll revisit this another time.
Look, whoever sent you, we're going to send you back busted up and bloody. So go ahead.
No, not right now. I'm going, like you said, you have a debate coming up on Sunday. And I'm going to stop back by next Friday. We can get into it then. But I do want to keep this debate. It's going to be on this channel right here.
Nobody want to see that shit.
Everybody's been asking us to
Get him out of
Unalive
here.
this guy
Get him
theologically.
out of
You're
here.
gonna have to do it. I'm gonna show you right now. Let me share it on my
Hey,
screen.
man, turn this shit up. On the Sabbath. Chilling on the Sabbath.
Why is this?
Man playing like he in a real football game. That boring ass off.
All right, so
running behind,
the
tackling,
debate on
3
Sunday. I
lead
guess
blocking.
you guys have all been wanting us to decimate this guy. Where's it at? Oh, Uncut Part 2. Where's his main channel at? Did his channel get... Did he get clipped?
Right here, dude. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, go ahead, share your screen.
So it's on this channel right here.
Don't do it. Please don't do it. Come on, 21.
Yeah, this guy named Dwayne, debunking Hebrew Israelites from TikTok. We're about to hang that man.
So since it's we're in a new covenant, I want to be hanging around and try to take none of my very, very strong reasons and sharp cuts and try to put into what he got going on. So I'll come back next.
Oh, he's blind.
What's going on, sis? You're live on the show. Question, comment, smoke?
Hey, Shalom. Most blessed to you, Priest Hakai and Hassad. How are you guys doing tonight?
Most High in Christ.
All right. I'm so glad to be on your all's panel. I have a couple of questions. Do you guys have time for me tonight?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So let me ask you this quick question. When it comes to source documents, what source information makes one more credible than the other?
Primary.
What do you mean by that?
Eyewitness or close to it. The time period that's in the point of contention or in question.
All right, so let me say this to you. Do you agree that all Hamites are in Africa?
You said, let me say this to you. Do
All
you
Hamites
agree?
are in Africa?
That's a question.
Come from, come out of Africa, are indigenous Africa. I don't know. I'm just saying. Do you believe that all of them are Africans?
No.
Do you believe all Hamites are Africans?
That come from that continent?
I'm just saying. Do you agree that all Hamites are Africans?
I mean, the land of Canaan, for example, those are descendants of Ham, but they are obviously in Israel.
From indigenous to the so-called Middle East. Now, if you say that the Middle East is a part of that continent, then that's another argument.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm asking is that are all Hamites Africans, or are there other nationalities, races, whatever you want to call them, Hamites?
There's Hamites that come from Africa. There's Hamites that come from the Middle East, but predominantly.
I'm asking like are there Asians, different type of races that are Hamites.
I guess so.
No, the Asians are not Hamites.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm just giving it as an example. Are there other groups other than Africans that are Hamites?
Go ahead.
You
can have somebody who has, from Asia that has Hamitic lineage, but are you asking, are the predominant people of the continent of Africa Hamites? Is that what you're asking us?
No, you guys say that the Edomites are the so-called white man, correct? So my thing is, are you saying that the Hamites, all the different Hamites, are they all Africans, or are there any other groups outside of Africans that are Hamites?
Your question is really unintelligible, really, to start off with, because you're coming with the preconceived notion that we believe to be African has anything to do with ethnicity or bloodline. White people are called African. So there's Israelites over there that call themselves African. So you have to ask our position, understand our position fully so that you can ask your question.
Okay, so the next question I have is, like when I asked you, I said, when is it the source document? So for instance, you guys agree with the Romans who they are, correct? And where their location is, where they're from, is that correct?
As it like what, Italy, or where they come from?
I'm just saying everything that they present about, the Romans, do you agree with?
I'd say an extremely loaded question. Do I agree with everything the
No,
Romans?
no.
I don't agree with everything anybody says.
No, of course. What I'm saying is that do you feel confident in the information that has been presented that those are the Romans? That's who they present as the Romans. Do you agree with that?
Who is presented as the Romans? The people who inhabit Italy right now?
As history. History says that the Romans inhabited Italy. They say that is the Romans. Do you agree with that?
Do I think Rome is in Italy? Yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm just trying to figure out because the Hittites, for instance, are in Anatolia. They're from Turkey. They have a whole civilization. They brought in the Iron Age. And my thing is that I never heard anybody speak on these people. They had a war with the Egyptians, and they're of Caucasian lineage. Now,
wait, the Hittites are from Anatolia, you said?
They have settled, and they have, just like what the Romans did, the Hittites have a civilization in Anatolia, which is present-day Turkey.
You're saying that white people today descend from the Hittites?
The Hittites are an Indo-European nation.
I'm asking you. At least a decent amount of Caucasians.
Come on, man. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that type of
yes,
shit.
The
That's
language that we
crazy.
currently speak right now, the English language, actually comes from the Hittites. And this is historically accurate.
That's so crazy.
Based off of historical record.
Are Hittites a group of Canaanites? Yes or no?
Yes, Hittites come from Canaan.
Okay, what language did Canaanites speak?
The language that the present language that the Hittites spoke, they brought in their own language.
So they made their own language that was completely different than from Phoenician.
Well, the thing is that the Hittites all have their own dialect. So the Indo-European language that the Hittites brought in is currently the language that is based off of the language that we're speaking today.
Just linguistically, here's the problem with that. When you look at Semitic languages, like when you look at Arabic, and you look at Hebrew, Amharic, I think was the language spoken in Ethiopia, you can see there's a common ancestor linguistically that they have. What you're saying is that the Canaanites spoke Phoenician.
Did it again on defense. Threw a pick just to do it again. GG's, bro.
Some random group of Canaanites all of a sudden
just to do it again.
They came up with English. You can see how Arabic descends from Phoenician. You can see how Amharic descends from Phoenician because they're closely related. But you're saying English is essentially a Semitic language that just mysteriously came up after this random group of Canaanites just randomly came up with it.
Well, we all know through the Tower of Babel. We all know through the Most High scrambled everybody's language and dialect, right? That was during the Tower of Babel. So the thing is, and like I said, right now we're just talking, but if we really wanted to get more thorough as far as the dialect, the language that we speak currently is a branch off of the Indo-European dialect, which starts with the Hittites. How about that? Now, since you mentioned the Phoenicians, who do you say the Phoenicians are that came out of Africa?
Different groups of people.
And who are they? Because the Phoenicians were a very dominant group of people. They had the Phoenician trade route, correct?
What is this? I'm trying to see what the point of all this is.
All of this is very important. The reason why it's important is because you guys are going out teaching that the Africans are the Canaanites, and they are not. And I want to know what evidence do you have to prove that? Because the thing is, there's tons of history. There's also, they have found their grave sites. They have found, like, if you believe the Romans are who they are, not too far from where the Romans are, for the Hittites. So what makes the Romans more authentic, their history, than what the Hittites' history is? Like I said, the Hittites are the ones
She's kind of going in. She's kind of going in. You can't get mad at that.
They had the Bronze Age, and then they brought in, you lost the copper. They have the language that we're currently speaking. The Hittite word for water is the English word for water. This is all based off of history. Just like how you guys go based off of how we find out that we're the children of Israel. It's the way that we can find out that Caucasians, Native Americans, Hispanics all go back to the Canaanites.
Okay, so Canaanites are white people.
They took her off. Like, damn.
So the sister asked what we meant.
Why did they drop her off like that?
She just hang up.
Yeah, I didn't kick her off.
She just said what she had to say and hung up.
I don't think she
So
hung up.
white people are Canaanites, basically. That's what she's saying. White people are Canaanites.
The
Yet
fact that,
Ethiopians, who
wow,
are
that's kind of
brethren
crazy.
to Canaanites, are
I ain't gonna lie,
completely
that
different.
does lead me to speculate. Let me just fast forward to see if she pop back up. Yeah, the fact that, bro, look, she was talking, she said her thing, all of a sudden she popped out, and like what? She didn't pop back on. I'm trying to fast forward to see maybe like, her phone could have died. She could have came back. Um, but yeah, she nothing. She's no other signs of her on the stream. It's only 10 minutes left. This is where I get to investigate. I'm like, let me look at the live chat, see if she joined back in there and been like, my bad, or something. But the fact that that's just crazy, cause she was saying things that they can't deny, but it's you could tell that they like, oh well, we getting taught basically by a woman, which is like whatever. When the information comes, it's not like you're less of a man because you don't know things. That's the problem with people, especially men. It's like we get this whole complex like we supposed to have all the knowledge already, especially if we walking, like if we present ourselves like, we're righteous, and then we actually, the Most High show us some type of favor. We like, oh yeah, we already did everything right. We already got blessed. Look, we got blessed. So when our knowledge gets tested or our faith gets tested or something, to where we are clearly lacking and we know that we're lacking, we won't be like, oh man, all praises for that. We'll be like, yeah, I knew that already. Yeah. But type shit. And it's like, man, hell nah. That's a weak ass trait. And I'm saying we because I'm a man and a male, of course, Israelite. But it's like, bro, I don't have that issue as much. Like I don't find myself doing that, but I find men doing that. So I'm just speaking from that space, and it's like knowing that this is who they training our men to be, Israelite men to be, like weak, effeminate ass. Now I have my issues, like with lust and the flesh and stuff like that, but it's like stuff that I struggle with, other men may not struggle with. You get what I'm saying? But tendencies, like, well, that is a tendency, I guess. But like that right there, to be like superseded with some knowledge and be like and not, being proud. That's what that boils down to. When you look at it, it's like, oh, that was just some prideful shit to not acknowledge it and appreciate it, even though it came from whoever it came from. I learned from whoever. I learned from baby. I love paying attention to babies because they don't have no filter, And although yes, we teach them, I learn from them because I learned how they interact. They don't have preconceived notions or nothing like that. They are genuine, and it reminds me to be genuine. But I learned that from looking at them, So it's like you can learn from anything, man. Just be humble enough to accept that. She just literally just disappeared off the thing, and they was both like, oh well, and then they weren't like, oh well, man, she was saying some good stuff. Let's get it back on. Let's wait to see if she reconnects, and hey man, let's talk about what she was saying. She had some good points. No, it's just like, yeah, she was talking, but look at what they said after that. Look, watch, just listen to it. And I'm led to believe Hakkad, he just kicked her off. Because he was like, oh, well, she just said what she had to say and did it. And it's like, I don't like to speculate. I don't even like doing that like that. That's just crazy. That's what it looked like, though. Just watch.
History. Just like how you guys go based off of how we find out that we're the children of Israel. It's the way that we can find out that Caucasians, Native Americans, Hispanics all go back to the Canaanites.
Okay, so Canaanites are white people as well. The sister asked what we meant when we said pseudo in the chat
You see
earlier.
that? That's when she left just now. Oh, well, the sister asked that. Let me go ahead and address what she said so we can move on. What? That didn't seem genuine at all. It didn't seem like, oh, damn, she had some good stuff. I wish I could have responded to her so she could hear what I said. Let's get her back on. It ain't none of that. That's normally what would happen if somebody actually is having a conversation. When they drop out, they see what happened because it's abrupt. It's interrupting the conversation, but it's kind of calculated if you just see her drop off and everybody look nonchalant. Everybody looked down literally as it happened. Like they was looking while she was talking, and then when she stopped talking, it was like, okay, like look around, boop, she popped off, and it's like, oh, okay, well let's just respond to what she said. Oh, she's not here. Oh, she dropped off. Listen to what they just said.
Canaanites are white people.
She dropped off. Nobody saying nothing.
The sister asked what we meant when we said pseudo in the chat earlier.
Did she just hang up?
They said, did she hang up?
I didn't kick her off.
She just said what she had to say and hung up.
So white people are Canaanites, basically. What she said.
Yeah, that's so fake.
Saying. White people are Canaanites, yet Ethiopians who are brethren
You see?
Canaanites are.
The fact that they can't really address it, they gotta have. So what you really mean is, like, bro, that's just crazy. Look, nobody.
Yeah, she dropped the mic. And to answer the sister's question, no, I am not interested in the debate with you. And you can go in and say I'm running. I am not going to debate you, sis. Much love to you. God be with you.
Right, nobody's saying nothing in the chat. Yeah, that's good. That's so good. She confused the history of what she was reading.
We are at our 2-hour
minute
mark.
Man, all praise to the Most High. And at every chance you get, you got to get the Most High His glory. Because He deserves it. Yeah, man. With that, man, I'm going to just read some little wisdom. And this scripture is to stay in the Spirit. To meditate on daily. Because it's a lot of bullshit out here, man. I ain't even going to lie, man. I ain't even going to lie. This is Sirach chapter 14. And verse 1. Blessed is the man that hath not slipped with his mouth, and is not prickled with the multitude of sins. Blessed whose conscience has not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. Riches are not comely for the niggard, and what should an envious man do with money? He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul gathereth for others, that shall spend his good righteously. I ain't gonna lie, the point was 1 and 2, and I'm gonna just read that over. Blessed is the man that hath not slipped with his mouth, and is not pricked with the multitude of sins. Blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. So saying that to say, you're blessed if you know that falling is normal. Getting back up is normal. It's not nothing to condemn yourself about, because you ultimately read the scriptures and you believe in the scriptures that these prophecies have to come to pass. One of the major prophecies that has to come to pass is Israel waking up, Israel repenting. And as a believing Israelite, you repent with the understanding that you have grace from our Savior, Hamashiach Yahushai, and it is not extended. It is right on time, and it is exactly what we need to the dosage, to the portion. Nothing more, nothing less. So never think that you're abusing your grace if you're continuously, sincerely getting up. Don't let your conscience sear you. Don't let this society fool you and make you think that you have to be a cookie cutter Israelite just because once you put in your fringes, you'll never have to worry about repenting ever again. Like, bro, nah. It's a fight. When you put on your fringes, that's the beginning of the fight. That's all it is. You got to stay in the ring, keep your hand to the plow, and never look back. Looking back, you're not going to be fit for the kingdom. You got so much in front of you. With that being said, man, we are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. When you read Deuteronomy 28, chapter 15, all the way down to 68, it identifies the curses. The curses land on the Israelites. We read those curses and we can identify who those Israelites are. Today, the prophecies are led to lead you to understand that in the latter days, the knowledge will increase and Israel will come back to their natural heritage. And will wait on the Lord and endure all things for the hopeful elect's sake. That's the state that we're in right now, enduring everything for the hopeful elect's sake. I'm here to encourage you to stay in the fight, give the Most Highest praise. He deserves it. And everything, give the Most High His praise. Let me read 2 scriptures actually on that. Sirach 43 and 30. Let me get this first. Sirach 43 and 30 says, when you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as you can. For even yet will he far exceed, and when you exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. It's never enough. Never too much, never too much. Never too much, never too much. Alright, and I actually got another phone, so I gotta download the Bible app on this phone. But for now, I know I want to get 1 Thessalonians, the closer, 5. Alright. King James Version. 1 what? 1 Thessalonians 5, and let's start at 16. Rejoice evermore. 17. Pray without ceasing. 18. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh Christ. Yahweh is the Most High in Christ, Hamashiach Yahushua, Christ Jesus, concerning you. So we know the Paleo Hebrew. That's what we say as far as the names. But in everything give thanks. This is the will of the Most High through His Son concerning you. And with that, man, all praise to the Most High. Enjoy your Sabbath. I know it's late. If you up like me, because I'm a third shifter, enjoy the rest of your night. But if you're seeing this at any other day, any other part of the day, enjoy your Sabbath. Yeah, man, stay in the spirit, man. And if you need me, my IG is BARZAYAH. Again, my IG is BARZAYAH_Judah. I'm the only one there. If you got questions or if you just want to talk, I'm here for my people. I'm here for the Most High's people. And I am my brother's keeper. So if you need me, I'm there. Reach out. Till the next time, man, y'all stay in the spirit. Continue to endure all things. Get the Most High's praise. All praise to the Most High. Shalom.